just East Coast beautiful.
I can sing you this if you want.
And ladies and gentlemen, that handiwork is from the mastermind behind the space that I stand in right now. I am standing next to Sean O'Reilly, the president of the Miramichi
Miramichi History Museum.
The Miramichi History Museum. And I've been out of the Miramichi for so long, and I called him up yesterday asking if I could see the place. It only opens in June before I go back to Vancouver, and he said sure thing. And I tell you what, I am uberly impressed with this space. It is a beautiful, beautiful curated museum. And for those of you that have not been in here and you drive by it, why not stop, park your car, and come on in and check out what's in here. Now, Sean knows his stuff very well as he's been bringing me through this place. And we can go on and on and on about, I love those pieces, about what's in here. I'm just showing a quick video. It's so well done. And I remember the old location at the corner of Wellington and University that was tore down recently. And then so, you know, Sean's been telling me of what's going on here. For example, that's a kayak from northern Quebec, sealskin, 1800s.
Yeah, 1880s we figure. Yeah.
The 1880s we figure. Wow, this is a beautiful, beautiful presentation of the Miramichi and its history. And through this project with Uncle Raj, I personally am a local Miramichi boy that has moved away, and I've been able to rediscover my hometown. And I'm being more and more impressed the more conscious I become of the capabilities of our Miramichi people and the history of this place. There is a definite soul that this place in the world possesses, and this museum does a very, very excellent job of just showing the local history here, folks. There's story after story, and I'm just showing you just a little. I'm just panning around and just showing you the upstairs. There's a downstairs to this place. There's lots of things going. Sean is a history teacher. He knows his stuff. He has students working here in the summer. How many people are on your board?
7 right now.
7 on the board. Really, really, really excellent. Thanks for letting me in, Sean.
No problem.
So, Sean, what do we got right here? Sorry for the glare once again.
They're all W.S. Logie canned products. The lobster, rock lobster, mackerel, salmon, mutton, roast beef.
Oh, wow.
You name it. They canned everything.
Yeah.
One of Logieville's proudest families. Well, obviously they were named after the town was named, but W.S. Logie and A&R Logie, we have a lot of
their stuff.
A lot of their memorabilia or products or
Really
artifacts.
cool. It's very well done. So what about the blue? Was that the color that was in here when you guys took over?
Yeah, when we took over,
I love it.
The color was blue. Now we painted it the same color, but we left the carpet. We have the Masonic carpet here, and the G at the back, that's part of the Masonic Hall. The G stands for God and geometry.
Oh, wow.
But other than that, everything's 100% museum. A lot of the stuff came from the old museum, as you mentioned, the one on University and
Wellington.
But since then, we've obtained a lot of artifacts from from everywhere in the Miramichi.
I love the blue color. I really do. I think it's way cool. So for all you TikTokers out there, that's what a $1 bill used to look like. This is a great collection. It is very, very well curated, I must say. I am highly impressed here, Sean.
Thank you.
This is really a wonderful collection. Like I said, Sean could talk for hours and hours about this stuff. He knows it. He's been with this museum for 24 years. Just another example of a great Miramichier putting in time to withhold the traditions and the history of the local hometown. Here's a collection of canes. It's really cool. I always say, I don't think you guys can see the G on that light. So that was an original, sorry, no, it's not gonna show. There's a G on that light for all of you watching.
Hold on, I'll turn it off here.
And that's an original. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, cool. So this was the old Masonic Hall. The carpet's really cool. I think the blue works really good in here. Go ahead.
There's only 2 known pictures of the building of the St. Michael's Cathedral.
Oh yeah?
And here's one of them. You see many, many copies of this picture. This is the actual...
Oh, the building of it.
The building of the St. Michael's Cathedral.
Oh wow.
This is the actual photo. You see copies of it, but this is the actual photo that everybody makes copies of. We got that from Lou Dixon.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
R.B. Bennett signed documents.
Really cool.
The first program from the Chatham Opera House.
Oh yeah?
Opening ceremonies of the... These are just a book of important, I guess, documents from Chatham, Newcastle.
Well, one of the things I'll say, Sean, when I walked in, like even downstairs, like this is just kind of a back room, guys. Is everything is so clean and organized and in place. So it really is an impressive display. Really, I'm very impressed. Really cool. Okay. So downstairs now, this table dates back to the late 1800s, and it was the original table of Chatham Town Hall building.
Yep, Chatham Town Council.
Chatham Town Council original table. Look at how cool that is, folks. Wow. And you know what? That table's not even big enough to fit the O'Reillys for supper. Downstairs. It's a beautiful collection. It just feels, the space just feels so good. I must say. There's an old, we had the Penguins for a while, Chatham Minor Hockey. I remember that in the old 80s. I don't know if it dated back to the 70s, but the 80s for sure.
Can I just point out one thing?
You can point out many things.
A lot of the kids don't know what that is, the strap.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, do you know what the strap is?
I never had it. But
neither did I.
This little cabinet's full of a lot of more educational-minded things. That's
okay.
Why we have,
yeah. Little catcher's mitt right there, and there's Coffee McLaughlin's first ever catcher's mitt, folks.
The Logie Trophy, first place, girls softball.
Oh, wow. Really cool. 1949 is the earliest date on that. Yeah, the space just, it's very, very well presented. There's an old Newcastle banner. And there's a Chatham banner. So for all of you people that are over in Newcastle and are always trying to wonder, everybody knows the Morrissey Bridge. Sorry for the glare. And if anybody wants to know what the new bridge is called, it is called the Anderson Bridge. after the Honorable, it's not Wes Anderson of director-writer fame.
This is the bridge that's up by the enclosure, yes, that's being replaced. This is
Yes. That's that one.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So it says, notice, all users of this ice bridge do so at your own risk. And Sean has this photo, and he says, you know what an ice bridge is? Well, it's a frozen river. And do so at your own risk. Wonder what year that was. There's the old St. Michael's. Here's a spot from our local our sponsor, Corey Wishworks. Now he didn't build the whole boat, but when he got it, it was damaged, and all of this woodwork, the gunnels, seats, a new gel job and paint job, I forget what he told me, a new stain job and all that. All the wood that you see, that is his. He built that that metal protective piece that wraps around. The man does it all. There's leather, there's metal work that he does. So if you're looking for a personal project, you want it special for somebody as a gift, please don't hesitate to get in touch with a local craftsman.
August here, there seems to be a thicket, but I was showing you there might be magazines in there or something. I don't know, I didn't go through it. Well, there's Wendy, good weekend for the Hoopers.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Raj, I just pressed the old pause. I'm cranky. We're cranky. We just had a big conversation up there, just letting a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah, well, you got
And you need an uncle, and an uncle sometimes needs a nephew to do that, right? Like, we just gave it up. We have the world's problems all figured out. We just did it over lunch up there. And we got the NHL hockey dirtiness figured out. We have the...
you mean you need somebody with you to be cranky.
I needed to release some stuff. Anyway, lots of stress going on for lots of people, and we know that. you know, we had a mishap here in Logieville yesterday. I'm not even gonna go into it or mention names, but our hearts are heavy, and we're not gonna go there. It's not the space or the time, but you know, our thoughts and hearts are with that family, of course. So Raj, we're on episode 48 now.
48.
48. So we got to do this one, and then I want to do 2 more to get to 50. I'm tying things up here on the Miramichi for my stint here. I got to make my way back to Vancouver. So the local historian, Roger Como, has collected, you know, so many newspaper clippings and pamphlets and brochures and all of these things, photographs. His collection is really excellent. He's a local historian. All you need is 2 things to be a local historian. They're not easy to do, but you need 2 things. I just made this up. Consistency and a collection, and then you can show it, which is what we're doing. It's a community building, therapeutic project for us. We've got to spend so much time down here and out there in the old Miramichi over the last little while, Raj. And I heard some more good comments today. People are saying it's great. And we were just upstairs saying, you know, we know there's going to be some criticisms and people just rolling their eyes. Because, you know, as humans, we tend to kind of criticize. It's easier to rip something down than it is to build it. We don't care. We're doing it for each other. We're doing it for a positive project. So, Raj, you know what's going to show at the first of this video? They would have just watched Sean O'Reilly up at the History Museum.
Yeah.
That's on Wellington Street. It's the old Masonic Hall near Elm Street and all that. It's near King Street and Wellington. And Sean O'Reilly comes from a family that had a lot of. It's a big family. Jack was the father. I'm sorry, I don't know the late mother's name as well. Jack used to do the skate sharpening. He was a blacksmith. Sean is really well versed in that museum. He's spent close to 30-something years curating it and being the president of the board. It's really well done. I highly recommend you go in when it opens up and check it out. And then Sheep House Falls, Raj. I took a drive up yesterday, and I've never been there before. You do have to drive about 20 kilometers on a dirt lumbering logging road, but it's pretty well maintained, and it was good. And I saw some black bears. I couldn't get video of them, but those waterfalls were so beautiful. And so that's what the people have seen, Raj. So we're on 1982, Roger Como's local collection. This is part 3, episode 48, Mirami-histor-chi. Okay, Raj, we're all cranky. Maybe we should just put the coffee and tea away and just crack open a proper one, eh?
You keep saying we.
Okay, I took it on, Raj. I went up and brewed a pot of barley soup, and I just said, you know, sometimes you just, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going. Roger Como has the consistency and the dedication that Roger has shown me. He's taught me many lessons on this project, Raj. So what are we going to start with here in part 3?
Oh, we're going to start off with a full page of the Folk Song Festival.
Folk Song Festival. So you guys would have already have seen Susan Butler interview. Folk Song Festival's coming up again. It's you know, we should be taking, you know, we should be taking these things in as a community. This is how communities maintain their value systems and cultures, etc., etc. Okay, Raj.
So
you going for it?
I didn't highlight the
okay.
people. It was the full page here.
Oh, wow.
And this guy here was popular Driver Francis.
What was his name?
Driver Francis. I don't know.
Was he a dancer?
Oh, yeah.
Driver Francis. Okay, that's Driver Francis right there. There's no names, but we'll show him right there. Roger Como knows his dancers. So this is a full page from the Miramichi. Is this Northumberland News? Actually, this is the Moncton Times. The Moncton Times in 1982 covering the Miramichi Folk Song Festival. Look at these old photos, folks. This is wonderful.
And we had another newspaper photographer, Guy Obi. I think he did those ones.
Okay. There's some...
And that's Marie here.
There's some great photos right there. We didn't have time to do any underlining on this one, but are people mentioned here? Well...
Yeah, oh, there's probably names in there. Here, Marie Hare's up here.
Yeah.
I think that's,
Okay, that was
I might be Prashad, Mrs. Prashad.
it was well, it was the organizer, Maisie.
Oh, Mitchell.
That's Maisie Mitchell and Marie Hare.
Yeah.
Okay, so Maisie Mitchell, which one is she? The dark hair or the?
Yeah, dark.
So that's the founder of the Folk Song Festival right there, 1982. Was she the first one or was she the second one? Sorry, I got that mixed up. No, she's the festival organizer in '82. I forget who the. Okay, so we also have Willie LeBlanc and Clarence Lynch. Those are the fiddlers.
Yeah.
That's Willie LeBlanc and Clarence Lynch, 1982, rocking it, knocking it out of the park. We have Charlie Slane signs the ballad. Sings the ballad of the Dungarvan Hoover. That's Charlie Slane right there. Look at that. Charlie Slane. What a great name. And we already talked about Driver Mitchell. Or what is it? Driver...
Francis.
Yep. Driver Francis. So that's Francis Taylor and Shirley McDonald.
Yeah.
So Francis Taylor and Shirley McDonald rocking it and knocking it out of the park. And on the bottom, we look like we have, that's Pearly Hair.
Yeah.
And Clarence Lynch, that's Pearly Hair.
And we know where they found him.
Yeah, at the old Black Horse. So that's Pearly Hair singing. We played the song Pearly, Song for Pearly. Roger actually sang a little bit of the verse on that, and I played that when I was driving out to Point-a-Car one day, Raj.
Well, maybe I should do that verse again.
Well, you could do whatever you want. Hey, just a sec. You sing Pearly Hair because you just have a tendency to just want to perform. That's Pearly Hair. This song was written about this guy who passed away at the Folk Song Festival at the Black Horse, right on his chair.
Yeah, because a lady from Nelson, I can't think of her name, she made up the song about Pearly's passing, and I can only remember the first few lines. So we'll try the first few lines where she yells out, well, the MC called for Pearly, but Pearly wasn't there. He was over at the Black Horse, sitting dead upon his chair. That's all true.
Yeah, that's it. Roger knew him from the mill.
Yeah,
And so there's a local folk song that tells the story of one of the old folk song performers who actually died at the Black Horse Tavern right across the street from where the Folk Song Festival is.
Yeah, having a toddy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have a program here during back in '82. It was called the Bonanza Days, Silver Anniversary Bonanza of 1982.
Okay.
So
this is Logieville.
Like a program.
Okay, so Roger saved this 1982 program. It was the Logieville Silver Anniversary Bonanza 82, the 25th anniversary of Logieville teams competing in provincial softball playoffs and commemorating the winners of the 74 provincial titles and 24 maritime titles on various levels during this period. Well, and so... Oh, this was the official opening of the ball field.
Oh, yeah.
Landscaping and all that stuff, and there was just a series of events here, really cool.
A little bit of
okay.
newspaper
And then it just says the public was invited to the Bonanza anniversary, 1982. The theme of this year's third annual Bonanza is the silver anniversary of Logieville teams competing. And it was the new ball field, so actually, you know, that's sad in our community because that ball field, the backstop's gone now. The infield is overgrown. The pitcher's mound and the home plate still remain, but it's a non-workable ball field. And if you're, you know, that ball field was really cool because it was kind of, it was kind of tiered, and the bleachers were built on a hill, and you could walk and stand up on the back and talk to the person at the top of the bleachers as they were watching the game. It was really cool. Okay, so here it is. We haven't covered the Miramichi's best dressed man in a long time. Anyway, Joe Rashore of Moosehead Breweries presents a check to the Logieville Sports Committee to Jim Kelly, who was the executive director. Junior McDonald was the mayor. And Donnie Ross was the program director. And there's Miramichi's best dressed man, Joe Rashore, presenting some Logieville brass with a check. And there they are, folks. Junior in the middle, Donnie over on this side, and Jimmy with the beard. Right on, 1982.
Nelson High.
Okay, here's the Nelson High-Low Golden Lights. And they captured the first annual Labatt softball tournament held at Strawberry Marsh in Newcastle. It was a golden era for fast-pitch softball, the early 80s, late 70s. So many teams. Everybody had a team. Tournaments. There's nothing like a softball tournament. It's really cool. Who's on this team? Well, on 1982, Nelson, we have David Brito, Milty Savoy, David Rogers, Dee Dee Matheson, Alan McIsaac, Ralph Hayden, and George Connolly. Doug Cooling, Brent Daly, Mike Kelly, Bruce Lee, Paul Goki, Cecil Milder, Weldon St. Coeur. He was my boss when I was a student at the city. He was a great guy. Ran into him not long ago. Roger Gallant, David Gallant, Billy Redman, and Kirk Matheson was the bat boy. Right on, guys. Really cool.
Well, that wraps it up. I don't know what we got back here.
Got some horses.
Yeah, in the back, this is Fagan. Oh, fifth race in center might have been part of those other races.
Okay, Miramichi leader, July 7th, 1982. Kristen Starr was the name of the horse, driven by B. Faga. Continued his fast pace to come on top of a field of 8 and took top spot in the 5th race Sunday in Chatham. There it is, folks. That's that caption. Great action shot. Harness racing was a thing, and it wasn't too long ago that it was a thing. And here's the winner of the second half daily double exactor at the Dominion Day races at the Chatham Exhibition Raceway was Island Clipper, driven by G. Gadet. And there's that great photo from the old Miramichi leader in 1982. Right on.
Okay, a little bit of softball now. We're going to probably a lot. That's
Okay.
officially on.
June 30th in 1982, the Dixie Lees up their winnings. And the Logieville Dixie Lees up their season record to 6-2 on the weekend as they split 2 games with Cap Palais in Moncton District Senior. And there's a picture of Leon Como putting a tag on. Well, there's Roger's youngest brother, Leon, who passed away some years ago due to bowel cancer. And, you know, Leon's my uncle. And he drove across Canada with his wife before his passing, and they stopped off and said hello to me in Vancouver. That was close to 8 years ago.
This is all glued here, but we can read
Okay. Roger was clipping things out, putting them on a thing, but he points to this, and it says McLean, chosen by Softball New Brunswick. And I'm guessing that's Pete McLean. So John Surrett, president of Softball New Brunswick, has announced that Mrs. Patsy Bryson from St. John and Peter McLean, Turtle, from Logieville, have been given the responsibility for the Softball New Brunswick delegation to the 1985 Summer Games. Right on. Mr. McLean is the technical director, and congratulations on that.
Yeah. Another sheet.
Okay.
I don't have to read nothing. I don't
Another sheet, Roger collecting all his softball clippings from the years. It used to be the sponsored Dixie Lee, Logieville Dixie Lee. They were a senior ball club, competed in New Brunswick against the, Fredericton, St. John, Moncton areas. And here's just some stories on that. And, for example, Logieville hitting. Leon Como had 2 singles. Ronnie Como, a solo home run in the 4th. That's my dad. Jamie Watling had a double. Dale McDougall, Frankie Robishaw, Lauren Kingston, and Larry McDonald each had singles as Logieville beat Nelson.
Okay, so I think Logieville took out the series. But
Okay. That's the famous play.
At the plate.
Fans excited about team Logieville Dixie Lees take best of 5 quarterfinals. Roger Como cutting this out in 1982 after playing, kids running around in diapers, full-time job, building a house. Where was he finding the time to cut this out and glue it on? Well, this is the nicest play of the game. when the center fielder Jamie Watling rifles a perfect throw from center field to catcher Larry McDonald as he takes Phil Connolly at the plate in the 8th inning. Ooh, extra innings. Behind the plate is Don Matheson, and Leon Como is at third base. And there is a grade 8 action shot of a throw from center field, gunning down Phil Connolly at the plate. And that is Larry McDonald, great catcher in Logieville for many years, and a great hockey player. Played some senior hockey with the Miramichi Gagnon Packers. We are going timeout, folks. Roger just gave me the signal. Okay, we're back. Oh yeah, big controversy in Logieville back in 1982, folks. This was... I remember this photo being shown to me as a kid, okay?
That was up in Logie,
Yeah.
Nelson.
Oh, this is in Nelson? So there's my father, Ronald Como. He was scoring there, as it seems. The catcher was Terry Walsh, and you can see the ball right here, okay? Now, this was a big controversial play because Dad was called out. And that was also in extra innings, 9th inning. So people were writing in letters. The photo showed it. And there's a little bit of controversy that happened here. So this is interesting, Raj.
Photo by Brian.
And Brian Richard took that photo. So, I mean, you know, but apparently I remember Dad telling me about that. And Dad was like, it was so blatantly obvious that the call was missed. And that's the way she goes.
Okay, what's the name? Brian Cameron.
Okay, so this is just Roger's collection. How about that fellow? It's name, you know, Brad. This is just some more softball articles. But there was a pitcher from Logieville here. His name was Brad Cameron, and he played most of his career in the Fredericton area. And he was playing for Fredericton, but he's from Logieville. Roger Como sharing some of his cutouts from 1982. This is a great. Dips go to up against Logieville Staves. Okay, so here's another Staves off elimination. Logieville Dixie Lees sent 13 men to the plate in the first inning and scored 9 times against Brad Cameron on way to a 13-2 victory over Fredericton Diplomats to stave off elimination in the Provincial Senior A men's softball final here last night. The teams will pick up with Game 5 Thursday night in Freddie Beach at Queen's Square beginning at 8 o'clock. Fredericton leads the best-of-7 series 3-1. Really interesting, Rod. That must have been exciting times for you guys, eh? Being in the in the final over in Fredericton, a small little village like Logieville. And that's it.
And they lost.
Yeah. So it was the Diplomats. They beat softball, or they beat Logieville. Logieville made it to the final, and then they went to BC, and it just showed that they were kind of outclassed at the Nationals.
That's the ladies section.
And there's the ladies section. Good weekend for the Hoopers. And we covered her before. There's the great Wendy Daly. She's in the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. Not only the Softball Hall of Fame, but the New Brunswick Sports Hall of Fame. She had an amazing career as a softball pitcher from Logieville, New Brunswick. Okay.
That's where the last one. This is the women.
And there's also Wendy Daly. The Miramichi Hoopers are the 1982 New Brunswick Senior Women's Softball Champions. And that is it right there. And that we just showed the main reason why Miss Wendy Daly, the great pitcher, and they won the seniors. And you know what, Raj? I was only a kid and I didn't even realize that Logieville won that.
Right up here
Wendy Daly is Sportsman of the Month. Some more Wendy Daly stuff. And anytime we have a chance to show Miramichi's best dressed man, Joe Rashore, we will do that. I'm not even kidding. He was looking sharp in every picture. Joe Rashore, sales rep with Moosehead Breweries, presents Wendy Daly with the August Alpine Sports Award as the Sportsman of the Month. So right on.
Yep. So this is where the Hoopers went to the Nationals in Newfoundland.
Come over.
And they end up.
Okay. So that's that same Hooper, sponsored by the old classic bar, the old Chatham train station, which was the Hooper. They won the title, and then they came 5th in the Nationals. And once again, their main component was Wendy Daly, the great pitcher. If you have a dominant pitcher in softball, it is a lot of the battle, trust me.
Okay, here's some, I got this on cardboard.
Okay.
This is down in Rolly Gotro.
Oh, yeah.
Mary Roy for
Okay.
Shediac or whatever.
Okay, here's Roger, cardboard, newspaper clippings, doing a good job. There's a guy right there out of the Moncton area. His name was Gordy Gotro. They called him Rolly. He was a fireballer. He was he had the great demeanor on the mound. He could hit, but he was a national caliber, world-class pitcher. And this is just a story when he was a young junior, but I saw him pitching, 10 years after this, 12 years after that. He was the top pitcher in Atlantic Canada for quite some time, and he could hit. He never ever lost his composure on the mound.
Right here, what Miramichi folk singer.
Okay, so Roger Como loves covered bridges, as we've covered, tall ships. And I've noticed that there's a lot of fire stories. There's lots of fires, horse racing. He loves the harness racing. And Stephen Heckbert, folks. Once again, there it is, folks. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Stephen Heckbert. We played one of his songs a few episodes ago. It was called Murdoch Cove. And there's a great photo. It's a unique way to break into the music industry. Mention the Miramichi maritime industry and energy conservation in the same breath, and you're likely to conjure up visions of windmills and cheaper lumber. But what if the industry is music? Oh wow, this is like creative writing. Solar power guitars, drums and diesels? Well, not quite, but Miramichi folk singer Stephen Heckbert has still come up with a unique way to overcome the vagaries of breaking into the music industry without benefit of the almighty backer. While Heckbert's public exposure has been limited to the annual Miramichi Folk Song Festival and a few connections among record producers, he was able to cut his first album last month with personal savings and the help of some musical friends. It was titled Bottoms Up, and he lives nearby, Raj. Really interesting guy, deep thinking, traveled the world. I enjoyed the album that I listened to. I think the album that I have from Raj is from 2014.
So that ends August.
Okay, so we're going through 1982. It looks like we're going to get through 1982.
September, we got some
Okay, we're September now, 1982. Roger has them all in subfolders.
Sidewalk work in Logieville.
So, sidewalk work in Logieville, folks. The village of Logieville is installing a mile of concrete sidewalk along Wellington Street. Wavell McCormick, councillor, and Harold Russell, project manager, look on as work progresses. So there it is, folks. Logieville getting a new sidewalk. Oh, wow. As Wavell McCormick watches on, the old councillor. And I saw Wavell, who's in this shirt and tie there, 2 days ago, gassing up at Petro Can. What's this one? Oh, that's the senior home. This is 1982, October. And then showing above is the 10-unit senior citizens housing complex under construction in Logieville. The estimated cost of the complex is expected to be completed in January, $350,000. You imagine now trying to build something like that for $350,000 nowadays? Anyway, that place still exists. It is named the Jack Esty Manor after the great Logieville benefactor, Mr. Jack Esty. My grandmother, Roger's mother, spent the last years of her life as a tenant in that building. And Roger, our local sponsor, Amanda, went and got a camera, took a picture of the Black Brook House on a camera, had it blown up, and Roger's... What? Brookside Farm.
Yeah.
And took a picture. They got it blown up from Amazon or wherever they got the order from, or Staples or one of them. And Roger's got a little project that he's going to be doing with that. Here it is. Seniors Complex. Construction of a 10-unit senior citizens housing complex underway in Logieville is scheduled for completion in January. The estimated cost of the complex same thing. Land adjacent to the building will be used for the expansion of facilities in the future. Well, let me tell you one thing right now. There was no expansion of facilities in the future as we sit here in 2024. Mind you, right across the street, heading west, there is some construction happening right now. I remember when the boys were building this, I was just a kid. I remember there was a real handsome Logieviller up there with his shirt off, putting the roof on, and the young girls were just like, ooh, baby. But we used to, it was right beside the ball fields and stuff like that, and Blair LeBritton put a couple of golf balls through the window one time practicing his drive. He'll never tell you that it was him, but I know, because I saw it. Okay, September 82. Ready in 1 year. This was only in 82, eh? Mm-hmm. This, folks, is Dr. Loge Junior High School under construction in September 1982. That's where I did my middle schooling, Rogers Children, most people on this side of the river. In just 1 year, junior high school students from the Chatham area will be entering a modern new school. The school, with its up-to-date classrooms, art and music rooms, gymnasium, and auditorium, is gradually taking shape behind the Lord Beaverbrook Arena and next door to James M. Hill High School. $5 million school is on schedule and should be completed by May of 1983. Right on. Lots of great memories in there.
There's Joe again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sportsman of the Year was Kevin Keith, and he was named Miramichi Alpine Sportsman of the Year by a selection committee of local media representatives. He was chosen on a point system from a possible 58 candidates, including the 9 who had been chosen Sportsman of the Month during the past year. Joe Rashore, Miramichi's best-dressed man, the sales rep from Moosehead Breweries, presents Keith with the winning plaque. Right on. So what was Kevin Keith? What were his sports? Hockey, baseball?
Only baseball that we know.
Okay, so baseball, and that's a great photo right there. You know, being named the Sportsman of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
What an honor.
Well, he's one of the greatest players that the Army ever brought in.
Oh,
there,
yeah? Ever brought in? Where's he from?
Oh, I don't know. Just import.
He was an import, okay. Workers this week placed a CF-101 Voodoo on a pedestal at CFB Chatham to serve as a permanent monument to the aircraft which goes out of service at the end of the year. The monument will be officially unveiled this weekend as 416 Squadron holds a large reunion at the base. A similar monument using the actual Golden Hawk F-86 Sabre was also placed at the base when the aircraft was retired. Well, unfortunately, that is gone now. It's moved. I think it's still in Chatham.
This plane's here, but the Golden Hawk one is gone.
Is that still in the same location?
The shares are still there. Yeah.
Oh, it's still in the. So if you want to be driving around the old retirement Miramichi up there, the old CFB Chatham, take a drive around. You'll still see that one up there. Okay, so September.
We're winding down here.
Oh yeah, we're moseying right along.
Yeah, a couple of professional baseball. Here we got Wendy on this page. Oh, a full page of everything here.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a big full page. Miramichi Leader, December 29th, 1982. Wow, we got a lot on this page. This is the sports section in 1982. There's so much going on. Okay, so this is what the page looked like. Now, let's go up to this photo right here. That's a great action photo. I think it's the Tommies, high school hockey in 82. It is Ricky McDonald on the ice. Scored the Tommies' 4th goal as they beat at MVHS 5-4. This is in Newcastle. Who was on that ice? Daryl McKay, Rod Fry, Jerry Shannon, Ricky McDonald, Alan Menzies, and Daryl Matchett was in net. Okay, 15 Miramichiers complete. 82, a total of 15 Miramichis ran and completed in a marathon. Was it on the Miramichi? I think so. Oh, no, I don't think so. Where was this? I'm trying to find if it was on the Miramichi. Running has come a long way on the Miramichi, and a lot of credit should go to the Chatham track. It does not say where this was, but 15 Miramichiers competed, ran a marathon. One of them was Bill Brady and Bill Travis, Scott Hare, Don Forbes, John Foucher, Don Forbes, Bill Brady, George Hubbard, Vince Pino, Brian Richard from the newspaper here, Yvonne Rogers, Martine Rogers, Keith Trevors, David Roy, Joe Woodford, Bobby Carter, and Father Landry. We just covered Wendy Daly and Kevin Keith. They were chosen top athletes of the year in 1982. Wow. Oh, sorry, there's Wendy and Kevin again. And Raj, what else have we got? Top 10 hockey teams for 1982. Oh, that was, and the top 10 1982 coaches. Well, those were Greg Morris of the Tommies and Ironmen. This is 82. He's been, he's coached so many teams, so many championships over the years. So much goodness been given back to his community. Peter McLean. So they won. Oh, he was the coach of the Hoopers women, Turtle. Tim McCarthy of Nelson Schooners. Junior McDonald of the Dixie Lees. Roger was on that team. Larry Wood for hockey and baseball. Robert McCosh for school sports. Jim Graham for school sports. Harold Flieger for school sports. Art Gremley for school sports. And Bob Corlett for school sports. So right on. And it also says, Raj, that the Miramichi is full of dedicated people. And they just showed a bunch of builders here. Donnie Ross, Terry Whalen, Joe Rashore, Billy O'Donnell, Harold Flieger, Tim McCarthy, Blaine Siliker, Bob Connell, Bernie Keating, and David Wolds. And there's that picture of Greg Morris, Coach of the Year, 1982. Congratulations, GMO. Who's on the back there? Marianne Donaldson of Hotel. Okay. Here's a retirement on the back of that sports page. 1982, Marianne Donaldson. Which one are you? Well, you. Okay, she was in the white. Marianne Donaldson, Hotel Dieu administrator, presents a retirement gift to Melvina Robichaud during a combined Hotel Dieu Mount St. Joseph Christmas party. Robichaud worked at Hotel Dieu for 22 years, lately in the laundry department. 4 others who retired were Beatrice McGrath, Edith Walsh, Evelyn Fryatt, and Lois Gilks. And they were acknowledged on the occasion as well. And there it is. Congratulations. Great photo and honoring a retirement.
Yeah, so Marie, she was a Hashi.
Oh, yeah?
Now, Brian Richards does a full page every month coverage of sports and review for 19.
Oh, wow.
I think that's the way we do it.
Okay.
Okay. Sometimes that,
yeah.
we already covered.
Well, like I say, this was in December, and this was a full page on the back. All of the months from January, all 12 months are covered of what went on in the Miramichi in sports. Great coverage. The Newcastle judo team has a picture. There's Fred Savoy. It looks like he's playing a racket sport. It's hard to tell if it's tennis, squash, or racket ball. Don't think it's badminton. It looks more like, it's hard to say. The Adams rink, the curling rink, they were champions in 1982, and that is a group of Chathamers playing some floor hockey. I do see Walter McCarthy in that picture. There's no names, but some great coverage. Right on, Raj. That's
hockey.
Walter. Yeah.
Jimmy Hackett.
Oh, yeah? Right on.
This is the end of the newspaper.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's going to transfer over to the Times transcript.
Oh, okay. This is an announcement in on December 31st, 1982. It says, an era in journalistic history is being ended today with the final publication of the Moncton Times and the Moncton Transcript as separate newspaper entities. So in 1982, 105 years of that comes to a close, and it became the Moncton Times and Transcript. So there's a little bit of a history lesson for myself. I did not know.
Yeah, there's a couple university team. Looks like the Moncton Hawks. Yeah.
Okay. Is that the last thing for 1982?
Yeah, that's the last day of December.
Oh yeah. So is that it?
Yep. Right there.
Okay. So you know, I'm gonna say that we came down cranky today. We finished off 1982. So if they were picking some of our top episodes, probably not gonna pick this one. But it's good, Raj. We got her out. We got through 1982. And this is the New Brunswick Hawks, are no longer a professional hockey franchise. Tiny Moncton is Canada's top hockey city. Okay, so it says New Brunswick Hawks are no longer a professional hockey franchise, but Moncton fans will long remember how well they played, winning the Calder Cup Championship. Oh, so Moncton and the AHL, they won the Calder Cup Championship before?
Yeah.
This is just an article that shows how Moncton had such a great hockey year in 1982. That's the university team, Université de Moncton. And there are the Calder Cup champion Moncton Hawks. I think they moved over to Fredericton after that. I think they were called the New Brunswick Hawks at one point or something like that, eh? Well, Raj, we kind of, times are running down. Tomorrow we're going to have to pull out one more folder and get episode 49, and then maybe on Wednesday we do our 50, which was kind of the goal, which is a great thing, and then we'll hopefully have a little bonus episode for you, a little special feature from Mirami-histor-chi, and we'll see what we can do, eh? So thanks again, Raj. Oh, you know what? Let's close on this.
Shaw's Raiders.
Yeah, we've mentioned this many times before. This was an old men's hockey league team from the 80s or early 90s? 80s.
80s, yeah.
The 80s, and it was, Hal Shaw's Raiders. I'm trying to find... Shaw is right there. Shaw is right there holding up the trophy, and Roger is right here. That's my father, Ronnie. Dad was a defenseman. Roger was a centerman. Other notables on this team were Richard Kerr, the father of Brian, Richard Jr., and Terry, husband of Phyllis. He was the captain. Jim Muck, folks. There's Jim Muck, 1980s.
Eddie Russell and
Dougie Chase.
Yeah.
And there's Eddie.
Yeah.
So there's Eddie Russell, and right with the white helmet, and right beside him is Doug Chase. There's Paul Daigle. Paul always wore the long pants there. Oh, everybody had those on except for Roger.
Yeah. David Savage.
David Savage was on that team. Kenny Adams.
Yeah.
There's Kenny Adams. So they had their Alpine jerseys. Shaw played. He was probably in his 60s at this time, and Hal Shaw used to put the number of his age on the back.
Cheryl Donoher and Keith was there.
Is that Ronnie Murphy?
No, that's Jalas Terrio.
Oh, Jalas Terrio back there, folks. He was another guy on that team. Who else?
Yeah, Cyril Donoghue and Keith. Oh, shit.
So there's Cyril Donoghue and Keith. Rogers having a brain fart on his last name. But this team here, out of the Miramichi, you guys won some tournaments.
Oh,
You guys
yeah.
had a great men's league team. I remember as a kid going up and watching it, and it was great. Even, Roger will always say it was great because he was on the first line power play.
And then Gilles Morris.
Gilles Morris back here. And there's Gilles Morris. So there's a Miramichi photo right there from Roger. Great photo. Thanks for sharing. And Raj, we will be checking in tomorrow and, moving right along.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me twice today, Raj. I was pushing you.
Is there a time up, or we got room for anything else?
I think, why, what do you got?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think it's time up. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
oh.
good.
All right.
Okay, take her easy.
Good job.